Over these past 4 years, I've taken hundreds of sales calls with B2B software companies on Zoom. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly how to increase your show up and close rate in the B2B space. If you're a B2B marketer, if you run an agency, if you sell in the B2B space, or if you're just curious about learning more. For some background, my name is Thomason. I'm 20 years old. I run a multi-six-figure a year marketing agency that just helps out software companies and specifically the custom dev space book out more project deals and sign more companies through demos and things like that. Now, the first thing I have for you guys in terms of help and speed to result is basic Calendly automations, okay? For those of you guys that aren't familiar with Calendly and you're not using it, you need to start using it. For those of you guys that are, great, you can check this off the list. Calendly is extremely important because it allows you to integrate email and SMS in your follow-up sequences before the call. So if a prospect books in on March 18th, and right now it's March 13th, you have a 5-day window to basically hammer them with content. So YouTube videos, email lists, texts, things like that. This is a valid window to hammer B2B prospects. The B2B psychology is a lot different than B2C. Business to consumer, when you're selling to them, it's very emotional. It's very vision oriented. It's very, where are you looking to go? It's very, how are you looking to go there? What would your life look like if this could happen? B2B is very logistical. It's very technical selling. It's very relationship oriented as well. And it's sort of like, okay, we know you want to be here. This is not hard for you to comprehend. Let me map out the exact steps of how you can hit 100K a month with our system. And if it makes sense logistically, which it does, you will buy from me. And in my experience, B2B sales is a lot easier because the relationship side of things, everybody wants to have a great relationship with their customer and stuff like that. But in reality, it's very, very, very easy to just have a good proven process and then logistic and sell it without having to wrap in their emotions and, why their dogs died over here. And, if you want to revive them, you should start this business to feel better about yourself and stuff like that. It's all B2C marketing. It's like manipulation, all right? So first thing I said was Calendly automations. You have a very specific window, which Jeremy Haynes, one of the people who I listen to a lot, he's a marketer in the paid advertising space. He does a lot with meta ads. He talks about the hammer them strategy. And the hammer them strategy is from Jeremy, it's not from me. And it's the window between the prospect booking and the call versus showing up. And in that window, you are to literally hammer them because they are curious about your solution. They are curious about the exact mechanism that it takes to get the desired result that they opted in for, or the desired result that they so want. And so in that window, it's extremely important that you actually just hammer them. Now, over these past couple of minutes, I've just given you guys a lot of value. I know that was a lot, but let's move on to point number 2, which is sending out a personalized email to the company. Now, in my experience, for some of the larger software companies that we've signed over these past couple of years, I have found out that there is a very proven way to sign them when you get your foot in the door, right? I remember, I'll give you guys an example. There's this one Fortune 1000 company that we signed about a year ago, and getting in front of their marketing team wasn't the initial route that I chose. I got in front of their SDR, or one of their account executives. So I got in front of one of their account execs that worked there on LinkedIn. I reached out to him like I normally do. And then the 300 videos on this channel, I talk about LinkedIn outreach, sales, things like that. And how I do cold email in LinkedIn. If you want my exact step-by-step playbook on how I do it, just DM me. I have any, link or comment section down below with my Instagram. You guys can hit me up and ask me about that, how exactly I sign these guys. But more importantly, I reached out to the senior account executive, okay, who then introduced me to their head of sales within their entire marketing team. And what I did here was very, very, very unique. I sent out a personalized email to the business. So it was the SDR at this time, or the account executive. And I sent out a personalized loom. And this loom covered the trajectory of where the business had went to and where they wanted to go. Now, this might seem kind of confusing. This works really well for some of the upper market companies or some large B2B companies you're trying to sell to. This doesn't work very well, and it's not efficient at all if you're trying to do this for every single company you're signing, because obviously you can't send out personalized looms or personalized emails to every single prospect unless you're using Clay or some other tool. But what I'm trying to get at here is I sent out literally, I was naming employees, I was naming employee positions, I was naming things about their company vision on their LinkedIn, on their website. I was naming things about their goals. I was getting very personalized to the point where AI couldn't really do this. And I was wrapping it into my pitch, and I sent them over a 2 or 3 minute long video explaining how I would go about doing things for their business and kind of how I would market differently. And I always brought in the factor, yeah, I know you're probably currently working with a few other agencies, or you have in the past. I can see you're building out your in-house team with name. I know that those positions are already filled. I would like to come in as, an infrastructure expert and help out with XYZ, which will in return help out name. Their positioning and make them look better. So I was kind of wrapping in like a lot of different things inside this video. Now, the reason why I tell you guys this is because personalization is key. And at scale, these companies get hit up all the time with pitches, pitch decks, cold emails, looms, you name it, they're consistently being pitched, right? And so if you're in the B2B space, or if you're looking to get more into the B2B space and sell to these companies, not just like a large Fortune 1000 or 500 company, because those are massive, but even just any sort of B2B company, any business in the space, you have to understand that personalization and care about a company is huge. In the B2B space, most founders really care about detail-oriented pitches. If you're not detailed in your pitch, you can't expect to get paid money. Now, I always tell, even some of the mentees that I kind of help out with lead gen, and they copy my playbook, they license out how I do my outreach system. So they're doing the exact outreach system that I have. It's on School. I have like backend modules on how to copy or paste it. It's just using HeyReach, LinkedIn automation, and email. And when they're doing this, I notice that sometimes they'll pitch the business owner on the Zoom call after they initially got them on the call, and they'll kind of run into a brick wall, okay? And the brick wall they're running into is not knowing that much about their business. That's why I say you need to stick with one specific niche and get very clear on who you're helping out. Because at the very end of the day, if I didn't stick with custom dev software companies, I wouldn't be able to personally pitch each custom dev company the way I do. Because I have a vast amount of knowledge on custom dev, I'm able to actually articulate the value to each and every company. For instance, if there's a custom dev company that specifically helps out just building out websites or doing web design solutions, I can cater my pitch towards bringing their website more traffic, which equates to more customers. So I can say, hey, look, I know you're doing website building in the blank space, whatever niche they're in, insurance, sales. I have a proven way to actually help you drive more traffic for, and then you name what exactly they're doing. So websites, custom websites for niche space, whatever it is, insurance, sales, whatever, okay? So I can customize my pitch towards that. Whereas if I was in 50 different niches, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to close deals. I wouldn't be able to get clear on who I'm helping out. And so it creates an entire, it's sort of like you initially hit the hammer against the nail, right? And you're using most of the force with the weight of the hammer rather than just trying to bluntly hit it through the wood, right? You're just using the force of the hammerhead and it's doing all of the work for you. Again, 80-20 principle, right? It's everywhere. 20% of the people own 80% of the wealth, 80-20 rule everywhere, okay? So moving on, the first thing obviously I said was to get very clear on catalytic automation. So basic automations to, follow up with prospects, very simple. The second thing is understanding the goals of the business prior to the call. So that helps out with personalization. If you know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about. If you don't, they can tell kind of off the bat if you're just bullshitting them, basically. So do your research before the call, especially if it's with a company that you really want to sign and it's somebody who you see yourself helping out in the future as well, okay? That being said, that's important as well. And the third thing to understand when selling to a B2B business that has really helped me out over these past 4 years is getting clear on the outcome that you're delivering and selling with a logistical mind rather than a emotional mind. Personally, I was in the affiliate marketing space before I even got into the B2B space. So I was doing affiliate marketing. I was selling a health and wellness supplement to consumers. So I was selling a B2C product, okay? I wasn't familiar with B2B and B2C. I was just familiar with sales. So I thought B2C sales was the same as B2B sales. And so the mistake that I made was selling with a lot of emotion, this health or wellness supplement and all these memberships back before I started my agency, and I translated that sales process into the B2B space. And when I did that, I completely fell on my face because I realized that these B2B guys and girls, when I say guys, I'm referring to both genders, okay? I'm not being a misogynist here. Look, when they're selling to these people, the thing here is that they are sold with logistics. They'd rather hear you say, here's a clear path to ROI. We spend $100 in paid ads, I'm just making this up. We get $2 cost per lead. We get X amount of leads, 50 leads, whatever. And you're able to convert half of those to a call, 25% or 25 of them go to a call, but then you're able to close 50% of them. So, let's just say 12 of them close. That's a clear path to ROI, even though those numbers are made up. If you can give a B2B founder those numbers, those metrics, and you can dial them in, they will close inevitably. The only reason why they won't close is if you're asking them stupid emotional questions like I did and some of my inexperienced closers who have closed for me in the past. I'll give you an example. I mistakenly hired one closer. Actually, this was a couple months ago. I gave him a shot on one sales call. I was kind of hesitant to give him a shot. I was like, cool, you're hired as of right now. I'm going to have you close X amount of deals a month. This is what we're going to do. The first sales call he went on, he was talking to a B2B SaaS company in the custom dev space. And he asked them, how long have you been, or what are you at in monthly revenue, MRR? And the custom dev prospect said 100K MRR. He said, cool. How long have you been at 100K MRR for? And he goes, 15 years. Closer got scared, visibly got scared. He got shaken up by that amount of money for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I need to ask him more, but he's up with team. Anyways, he basically was trying to emotionally sell him. So after he asked him that, he asked him, well, why are you reaching out for help? And the custom dev guy goes, well, I'm looking to sign more projects and scale to 150K MRR because we've been stuck here for 15 years at 100K. And the closer goes and proceeds to ask, well, what makes you feel like you're stuck at 100K versus 150? And the custom dev guy just kind of sits there, slowly moves his hand and clicks leave meeting. Like, I really wish I could find a joke in here. This is so sad. Anyways, like, he literally left the meeting because my closer, which obviously is a reflection on me, made him feel uncomfortable because he was asking ridiculous emotional questions. Like, well, what makes you feel like you're stuck at 100K versus 150K? Or like, why aren't you there? But why? And I attribute a lot of this issue to, like, right now, the info space and like online space is crowded with a bunch of high ticket closers, high ticket sales guys, things like that. And unfortunately, a lot of them are just like spewing nonsense around and showing what works for like a B2C offer. But every single sale is different in different industries, and you have to look at the person that you want to become. For instance, I watched Jeremy Haynes a lot. I still do to this day. This is the fourth point. Watch who you want to become. Because if I watch somebody in the B2C space who sells an e-com product, that would be great, but it wouldn't help me out and directly attribute to my success in the B2B space. I'm much more obligated, and it's much more helpful for me to watch somebody like Jeremy Haynes, who's in the B2B space, who sells to larger businesses or just sells to medium-sized businesses as a whole, because he's nailed a strategy that works in a B2B space. Whether it's a 1, 2, 3 call close, whatever he has going on, I'm much more like inclined to watch him than somebody else. So please, if you're out here watching a video, and even if you're watching me and you're in the B2C space, it might be helpful to a point, but I'm not fully speaking to you. I'm speaking to those of you that are probably between the ages of, like, I don't know, 18 and 40. That's a huge gap, right? 18 and 40. You have some sort of an online business or a business as a whole, and you've sold or continuously selling to a B2B demographic. That's where I help out with, okay? So this channel is fully dedicated to that. Again, I have over 300 videos talking about sales, marketing, and self-improvement. This entire channel is fully dedicated to B2B sales, client acquisition, marketing, things like that, okay? And it's just helping you get to the next level in your business in terms of B2B, in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, in terms of closing more deals, signing more clients, and scaling your business, whether it's online or in person. Obviously, again, my name is Thomason. Hope this video helped. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section down below. Happy to answer anything, and hit me up on Instagram if you guys would like to license my exact outbound system of how exactly I get in front of these companies on a daily basis. More than happy to share what it looks like to partner up and license that system out to you. And yeah, look forward to meeting soon. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.